So good morning students. Today we will start with a new chapter. That's the name of the chapter. That is the third chapter in the reproduction. That it is the human reproduction. Human reproduction. So here, human reproduction. You know the meaning of reproduction. Means it is one of the biological process where an organism produces the young one to continue the race of generation. If we see that reproduction process in human beings, first of all, there are some characteristic features of human beings are sexually reproducing organism. In the last chapter, you had studied there are two types of reproduction, that is sexual and asexual. But what about the human being? Means they are the sexually reproducing organisms. Okay, they will undergo or they will exhibit sexually reproducing reproduction. That means there is an fusion of male and female gamete. Okay, so this is one of the characteristic feature according to the reproduction in human being. Then second thing here, they exhibit sexual dimorphism. What is that? Sexual dimorphism. Sexual dimorphism here, it means that they are exhibiting, or there in human beings, there is a difference between the male and female. Okay, by seeing some morphological character only, we can able to identify whether it is male and female. Okay, as well as sexes are separate. Sexes are separate. Okay, that is the two sexes, the male sex organ and the female sex organ are present in the two different organisms. That is the reason here you can see the male and female are different from each other. That process is known as sexual dimorphism, means where you can identify male and female. The third character, that it is human beings are viviparous animals. What they are? They are viviparous animals. Viviparous animals means which will give birth to the young ones. Directly, they will give birth to the young ones. That is the viviparous animals. Okay. So here, the sexual reproduction in altogether, we can say human beings will exhibit the sexual reproduction. In the last class or in the last chapter, you had studied that in the sexual reproduction there are three events. Okay, pre-fertilization, fertilization, and post-fertilization. If we apply that events to the human beings, first will come the gametogenesis. First is the gametogenesis. Gametogenesis, as you know, it is the it is the process of formation of gametes. And what are the gametes over here? That is female gamete and the male gamete. What is the female gamete over here? That is the ova or egg. This already you had studied. Okay, ova or egg. And what is the male gamete? That is the sperm. In human beings, what is the female gamete? Ova, or else we can also call it as the egg. In human beings, the male gamete is the sperm. Okay, the next this is the first process or first event in the sexual reproduction. Second comes the insemination. Second, here what it is? That is the insemination. In human beings, after gametogenesis, next process is insemination. What do you mean by insemination? Means it is the process of transfer of male gametes towards the female gamete. What it is? Transfer of male gamete. What is the male gamete? That is the sperm. So this sperm, which is motile structure, or it is a motile cell. Motile means which are able to move from one place to another place. Okay, so during insemination, this male gamete or the sperm has to transfer from the male genital tract or the male reproductive system to the female reproductive system, so that it can reach to the ova. Transfer of male gamete towards the female gamete. For what reason? For the fusion. Okay, this is second process. Then next, the third event or the third process here, it is fertilization. What it is? That it is the fertilization. Fertilization means where the fusion of male and female gamete takes place. Gamete takes place. See, first it will form, means first process is formation of gametes. Second process is transferring the male gamete towards the female gamete. Okay. Then third process, fusion has to take place. That is the fertilization. Then what is the fourth process here? So, see, after fertilization, a zygote is going to form. This female zygote formation will take place. After fertilization, what is the next event? That it is the zygote formation. Okay, this you know already. The next formation of zygote will develop into the embryo. Okay, so these, see, next event over here, right? After zygote formation, what happens means the zygote will undergo into certain developmental stages. Then a blastocyst is going to form. Okay, further I will explain in the chapter how the blastocyst is going to form. Okay, so next process after this, that is the fourth one, that is the implantation, where the blastocyst gets attached. Blastocyst attached to the uterine wall or the uterus. Okay, here zygote will develop into the blastula. Blastula will develop into the blastocyst. So this blastocyst is going to attach to the uterus. Okay, what is uterus and all? That we will clearly discuss in the further classes. Okay, just for uterus is the womb of the mother. Okay, to that it is going to get attached, and that process is known as the implantation. After attachment of blastocyst, the next process is the gestation. Fifth process, that is the gestation. Gestation means embryonic development. Embryonic development means when it gets attached to the uterus, the cell starts to divide. Then different tissues are going to form, different organs are going to form. Okay, so that is known as an embryo is going to form. Okay, the unborn child is going to develop inside the female reproductive tract. So that is known as the embryonic development. And that process of embryonic development, here it is known as the gestation. A gestation period, which is also known as the pregnancy, where the fetus is going to fully develop. Okay, after gestation, the last process will come, that is the sixth one, that is known as the parturition. parturition. Okay. Lastly, after attaining the pregnancy, then here comes the delivery of the baby, newborn or new individual or a baby. Okay, so that is the process of giving birth to a newborn. That process is known as the parturition. So in this chapter, we have to one by one we have to see all this process. Okay, so first we will talk about the gametogenesis. For knowing the details of gametogenesis, first we have to know the structures where these gametes are going to form. Okay, see, I told you that male gamete is the sperm and female gamete is the egg. So here we have to study before the formation, we have to study where it is going to form. Okay, in reproductive system, we have to know the clear details about the male reproductive system, then the female reproductive system. So one by one we will discuss first we will discuss the male reproductive system, then we will go for the female reproductive system. Here, the first one, see, from these two topics, that is, draw a labeled diagram of male reproductive system or draw a labeled diagram of female reproductive system. From these two topics, one question will be compulsory for 5 months. Okay, you make a note that from these two questions, one will be compulsory, it will become. Okay, either the male or either the female reproductive system. Only diagram with labeling, at least 10 labelings. Okay, then see first the male reproductive system. This male reproductive system includes the primary sex organ, secondary sex organ, then external genitalia. See here, it includes the primary sex organs, secondary sex organ, then comes the third one, that is the external genitalia. Okay, here the primary sex organ. See, first of all, this male reproductive system situated in the lower abdominal region. Okay, lower abdominal region or in the pelvis region. For example, this is the stomach. Okay, this is the lower abdominal region. So, the male reproductive system is located in this lower abdominal region or this lower abdominal region, which is also known as the pelvic region. What it is known as? Pelvic region. Where it is located, the male reproductive system. Male reproductive system is located in the lower abdominal or pelvic region. Okay, so first, before going to that structure, first we will discuss about the primary sex organs. Okay, here the primary sex organ, which is also known as the gonads. Okay, gonads means what? Gonads means the sex organs. What are gonads? These are the sex organs. Here in the male, what is the sex organ means? That it is the testes. and this testis is present in pair. Okay, so that is pair of testes. A pair of testes are the primary sex organ. So this testis will act both as an endocrine as well as in reproductive in function. This pair of testes is act as both endocrine and reproductive. Because why we are calling endocrine means they are responsible for secretion of certain hormones. Okay, that is testosterone. Further we will see about that one. Next is reproductive. Why? It acting as a function. A reproductive means because they are going to produce the sperms, that is the male gamete, which are essential for the reproduction. Okay, these are the two functions of testis. Okay, and testis will be in pair. So here, see, as I told you, endocrine, which will secrete a hormone, and the name of that hormone is testosterone. And reproductive means that it is going to produce the sperms. These are the two functions of testis. The next here, first we will see about the structure of testis. Okay, testes are oval in shape. They are oval in shape whose length is 4 to 5 centimeter and width is around 2 to 3 centimeter. Okay, oval in shape. This is the length and this is the width. Externally, the testis is covered by a layer that is known as the tunica vaginalis. Outermost layer of the testis is known as the tunica vaginalis. And this is the outermost layer, and the innermost layer is known as the tunica albuginea. This is the fibrous layer. Okay, fibrous layer which is known as the tunica albuginea. This is the outer layer and this is the inner layer. Okay, the next here, each testis is further divided into around 250 compartments. How many? 250 compartments. I will show you here. How many compartments are there? That is 250 compartments. This testis is divided into 250 compartments, and the compartments are known as the testicular lobules. What it is known as? It is known as the testicular lobules. Okay, see how means the inner layer, this is the outer layer. The inner layer, tunica albuginea, this is the inner layer, which will give rise to some infoldings towards the inner side of the testes, and these are known as the testicular lobules. In each testis, how many compartments or how many lobules will be there means that is around the 250. Like this. The number, these compartments, we can call it as the testicular lobules. Okay, so next, each lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled tubular structure or the tubules, which are known as the seminiferous tubules. See here, each compartment or each testicular lobule contains 1 to 3 highly coiled tubules like this. Highly coiled. You can see how it is. It is totally highly coiled. In each lobule, there will be presence of 1 to 3 highly coiled tubules or the tubular structure, and these tubular structure are known as the seminiferous tubules. What are these known as? These are known as the seminiferous tubules. And the seminiferous tubules are seat for sperm production, where the sperm is going to produce. In this tubular structure, the sperms are going to produce. Okay, that tubules are known as the seminiferous tubules. So we can also say seminiferous tubule as the structural and functional unit of testis. What we can say? It is also known as the structural and functional unit of testis. This is one thing. And the another thing that it is a seat for sperm production. What it is? It is a seat for sperm production, and it is also known as, why we are calling it as the structural and functional unit of testis means because in these tubules only the sperm will produce. Okay, the next here these testes are located into a pouch-like structure. This testis is located into a pouch-like structure which is located outside the abdominal cavity. Okay, just now I had showed you the pelvic region or the abdominal cavity. Outside the abdominal cavity, there is a presence of a pouch or a sac-like structure. For example, this is the testis means here these testes are located in a pouch or a sac-like structure like this, and this sac or pouch-like structure we can call it as the scrotum. What it is? It is known as the scrotum, in which testes are located. Okay, so the scrotum is located outside the abdominal cavity, not inside the abdominal cavity. Located outside the abdominal cavity. What is the reason for this location? Means why this why this scrotum and testes are located outside the body? Here, this is very important question for 1 marks. Okay, why the testis is located outside the abdominal cavity means in scrotum the temperature is maintained, or the temperature is 2 to 3 degrees Celsius, which is much lower than the body temperature. Okay, how much temperature is required for the sperm production? That is 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. this is the temperature required for the sperm production. Who is going to maintain? That is the scrotum. Okay, in the scrotum, that the temperature will be lower than the abdominal cavity because lower temperature is required for the active sperm production. Yes, sir. This much temperature is required for sperm production. Sometimes they will ask what is the temperature in scrotum? In scrotum, the temperature is 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. Sometimes they will ask for 1 mass why the temperature is lower, or otherwise they will ask why the scrotum is located outside the abdominal cavity. In that case, you can write because the testis requires a lower temperature than the abdominal cavity. Okay, lower means 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. Okay, the next we will see about the main structure here. Before going to the structure of male reproductive system, I will explain the section of seminiferous tubule. Okay, before going to the here, whatever the seminiferous tubules are there, that seminiferous tubule here, for example, this is the seminiferous tubule. If you take a transverse section of the seminiferous tubule like this, if you cut it, okay, then you can see this structure in this way. Transverse section we are taking. Okay. At that time, what are the cells that we will see here? So, see here. So still we are talking about the primary sex organ or the gonads. About the testis only we are talking. Okay. So let's see here. Further we will go for the secondary sex organs. Then we will go for the external genitalia. Here you see this is the transverse section of testis, in which it is lined by the cells, and that cells are known as the germinal epithelial cells. Means these are the epithelial cells which will act as a germ cells. Okay, or the germ cells. Okay, like this. See here, this is, you can see, this is a section of each seminiferous tubule in a section of a testis. Then these seminiferous tubules are associated with one another by some of the connective tissues. These are the connective tissues. Okay. Each seminiferous tubule here, it is connected by what? By some of the connective tissue. In between this connective tissue, there will be presence of some clusters of cells. These are the clusters of cells. Here and there, you can see some cells are distributed, and this cluster of cells are known as the interstitial cells. What it is known as? Interstitial cells. Okay, the next, these cells which are lined to the seminiferous tubule, these are the germinal epithelium or germinal epithelial cells. Okay, and here you can see, here it is lined. Along with that cells, there will be presence of some elongated cells, okay, which are broad. And these cells are known as the Sertoli cells. What it is known as? These cells are known as the Sertoli cells. See here. In this cluster of cells are the interstitial cells. These are the germinal epithelial cells. These germinal epithelial cells will undergo into a cell division. What is the type of cell division over here? Means that it will undergo into the meiosis type of cell division or meiotic cell division. That means the reductional division. Okay, and always these cells will be the diploid cells. Okay, or else the cells, we can also call it as the spermatogonia, or else we can also call it as the sperm mother cells. Means from where the sperms are going to produce. That is the thing. That is the reason we are calling it as the sperm mother cells or else spermatogonia. Okay, these cells, that is this germinal epithelial cells are known as the spermatogonia. This will first undergo into, it will undergo into the mitosis. Mitosis or cell differentiation is going to take place. If they are undergoing mitosis, then they will produce both diploid cells. Okay, then it will undergo into the next division, that is the meiotic division or meiosis division, which will form a diploid cells. Okay, here that division will take place. Okay, in spermatogenesis, you will study all details about that flow chart. Here you see, in this way, they are going to divide and they are going to form a haploid sperm like this. The spermatogonia divide and give rise to the primary spermatocyte, then to the secondary spermatocyte, then to the spermatid. In this way, the sperms are going to form. In what? In the seminiferous tubules. Then what is the role of these elongated cells in the seminiferous tubules? Means here, these Sertoli cells, which are elongated cells, which have a dense cytoplasm and a prominent nucleus. You can see here, which have a dense cytoplasm and prominent nucleus. These cells will it provides nourishment to the developing sperms. Okay, it nourishes the developing sperms. See here, beside these cells, Sertoli cells, the division is going to take place. Primary spermatocyte, secondary spermatocyte, and then spermatid is going to form. From where they are getting the nourishment means that is from the Sertoli cells. And one more very important thing which will ask for 1 mark, what is the function of interstitial cells? Okay, what is the function of interstitial cells? So here they are going to secrete, these cells are going to secrete a hormone. That hormone is known as the male sex hormone. What it is known as? It is known as the male sex hormone. And what is the name of that hormone means? Testosterone. Interstitial cell secretes a hormone, and that hormone is the male sex hormone. What it is means that it is the testosterone. Okay, who is going to secrete that hormone? Interstitial cell. What is the function of interstitial cell means? It secretes a hormone that is the testosterone. They will ask the function or what is the role of interstitial cell. Then sometimes they will ask about Sertoli cell. Rarely they will ask, but most of the time, what is the common question is? What is the function of interstitial cells? And one more thing, these interstitial cells are also known as the Leydig cells. What it is also known as? It is also known as the Leydig cells. Okay, so this is about what? About the transverse section of an testis, and each testis will have 1 to 3 seminiferous tubule. What I explained you there. So that section we had discussed over here. Okay, so this is about the transverse section of testis. The next that is about the male reproductive system. The diagram we will continue in the next class. So before that, here okay, we will continue in the next class. Thank you.